Hello everybody, it's Mike here. I'm going to tell you a little story about one of those things that I wish I'd done when I first started drumming many moons ago. So, when you first start drumming, if you have lessons or if you're self-taught, what generally happens is this. You sit down, you learn how to hold the sticks, you learn which feet go where and where your hands go, which way around you're playing, etc. And the first thing you normally learn is this. So your most basic rock groove that's out there, just a simple 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And from there on, we play for hours and hours on end, learning new beats, then we go on to drum fills, and then we learn about structures of songs and transitioning around the kit and all sorts of wonderful things. But there is a massive issue with this. Now see if you can spot it. If I put in, say, 8 hours of playing grooves like this, what happens? I'll tell you what happens. We end up exercising this hand about, I think it works out, maybe 4 times the amount of this hand. So if you watched a simple bar of groove, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I've done 8 hits for the right hand and 2 hits with the left hand. So I've exercised the right hand so much more. So if you imagine going down to a gym and you get your dumbbells and you sit there and you go, see if I can work this out. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. What is going to happen? You're going to end up with one massive, nice, chunky bicep and this one kind of feeble and It's the same with playing right-handed on a kit, or left-handed if you're a left-handed player. We end up exercising the right hand so much more that the technique of this hand develops at a massively increased pace compared to the left. And what happened with me is I spent 3 years of playing like this, putting all the effort into getting a fast right hand, and the left hand got left behind. And all that happened is I'd go to play drum fills and I just wouldn't be able to keep up. My left was flagging behind and I had to go back and really work on that left hand. So how can we overcome this, you ask? Easy. We learn to play from day one both ways round. And by that, I mean we play right-handed and left-handed. Now it seems for a lot of people like, why would I want to do that? I'm a right-handed player. It's for this reason. Because if you start from day one, when you first sit at a kit and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, then you are a completely blank canvas. You are an open book to be filled with all sorts of wonderful drum skills and knowledge. So what we can do is we take our basic rock groove and we put our left hand on the hi-hat and our right hand on the snare. And we play open-handed. Now, if we do this from day one and every single groove you learn to play left and right-handed, you are going to build up the techniques in your hand equally, and it will save you so much hassle for the future. So I really recommend it. Now, whatever grooves you play, whether it's kind of quarter note grooves, a kind of, again, do the same thing. And you can also lead when you do drum fills and you start right-handed. Start left-handed. Learn, whatever you do one-handed, learn leading with the other hand as well. Now, this is the controversial bit, because I know a lot of people don't agree with this, but hopefully you will see my logic in this. What do we do mainly when we're playing with the feet in drums? Well, we exercise this foot loads and this foot just sits here, holding the hi-hat down. So what can we do, Mike? I'll tell you what we can do. We can play with our left foot. Now, to play with your left foot, you would need a double pedal. This is the controversial bit. A lot of people are against the idea of using a double pedal from very early on. Now, I would suggest, if you are serious about drumming, get hold of a double pedal as soon as you can. the vast majority of top rated drummers, you know, your session players and the gods that we all look up to, I would say, and feel free to prove me wrong on this, but the vast majority, I feel, use double bass drum pedals. And it's not for the case of a lot of people think, people seem to have this idea that using a double pedal is all about, you know, sitting there playing heavy metal stuff. It's not. They can be used in so many different ways. And the thing is, you've got two hands, you use both hands. You've got 2 feet. Why not use both feet? Again, build everything up evenly from day one. So for example, if you're going to be using the left foot, so say you've gone out and said, right, Mike said to buy a double pedal, I'm going to buy a double pedal. Happy days. We set our pedal up. Now, if you're going to play with your left foot, you probably want to be playing on the ride because that means you don't have to keep the hi-hat closed. So we as you would when you're learning your basic rock grooves from, you know, right footed, start using the left foot. And then obviously you will progress that into getting more and more complicated grooves, and you know, you can use them in fills and everything like that. So again, we are just building everything up evenly. Now, what I tend to do with my students is I get them to play each groove 4 ways round. So how do we do this? Okay, we start off with our traditional right hand on the hi-hat, left hand on the snare, right foot on the kick drum. From there, we have an option. We can either change the feet around or the hands around. So what you can do is this. If we're going to play all the ways round, we're going to play anything right-handed this way round, anything left-handed this way round. Now, it will mean that your hi-hat will open up when you're playing certain ways round. It doesn't matter. The idea is just the practice and getting everything moving both ways round. So let's say we start right hand on the ride, left hand on the snare, right foot on the kick. Then we can choose to change hands. Or we can choose to change feet. So we right foot, left foot. So what I like to do is I like to change hands and then change feet. So I will go, for example, this way round, then change hands, change feet, and then, confused myself, then change feet again. So it'll be, yeah, so we have and you can change whatever way round you want, whatever feels natural. Some people might want to just change the feet first. That actually feels nicer. I'm going to stick with that, so ignore what I said, the last one. But yeah, whatever way works for you, just practice playing maybe 1 or 2 bars, one way round, then swapping out onto another way. And then if you're swapping hands or swapping feet, go whichever way you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. But the idea is to make sure we get a good workout across both hands and both feet. And then you can increase your speeds, you know, anything like that. And the idea when what we're trying to achieve by this is we want our technique to develop in a way that means that if we were to swap hands and feet, that nobody would be able to hear the difference. So what you will find, if you've got a really good right hand, you might find that your right hand is far more dynamic. So, you know, so the idea is if we're playing left hand, we want to try and mimic that. Now, there will always be, unless you are one of these people who can really train yourself to have, complete synchronicity and perfect ambidexterity. There will always be a slight difference, but you can get it as close as damn it. So if we try and get a little bit more dynamic with that left hand, I'll move that out very slightly. So yeah, not too bad. Yeah, you can still hear a slight difference. So you can hear there is a little bit of difference, but it's not drastic. So again, we're just trying to do the best we can and get the techniques matched with both hands and both feet. Okay, so that is a little idea for you all. If you are starting out, play the 4 ways round if you have the kit to do it. If you can't do the feet, at least do the hands, because over time it will really, really benefit you. So I hope that's been of help. Thank you very much, and I will see you later. Tatty bye.